But let's get started first up with the keynote address. And joining us today, we have with us Mr. Sanjay Dutt, who is the Managing Director and CEO, Tata Housing and Tata Realty Infrastructure Limited. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for someone who's armed with more than 24 years of experience in the real estate sector, involving strategic planning and new acquisitions and development. Well, on that note, let's get the session started. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it one more time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. When you reach a certain age, you don't need an introduction. I think I'm delighted for this opportunity. And, you've been very humble and probably understated the role that Exchange for Media has played for the sector. I know, having been involved with you for so many years, there are a lot of opportunities that we often think that we know, but we don't get it. And I think it's platforms like these which help you. And one of the reasons that I've been part of this and was very keen to come here is because I want to learn still. Technology is a space that I don't really understand fully. I understand real estate very well, but I know when sectors get disrupted, everybody seeks help. And this is the most appropriate time for the real estate sector to actually take advantage of this technology platform. I have a few headlines to commence with. I would say the world is digital as one headline. My second headline will be India is powered by tech. Third headline would be that all our learnings and experiences, which we think we know that we've absorbed and we made and put that to use, we haven't. We haven't really put it. And I think technology enables all of that and empowers you to leverage your own experiences, data, analytics, artificial intelligence, and helps you take informed decisions. And I will go back 30 years to expand on the context that we discussed earlier. When the world, especially the corporate world, was disrupted 30 years ago, and the boardroom discussions were happening on how to make corporates profitable, how to improve the bottom line. When the private equity space came into the boardroom dictating terms that if we put money, we want certain return on investment, it became quite apparent the sectors were kind of struggling to deliver. And I think if you look at the top global firms now in terms of market cap, they all are tech firms, which not too long ago, in 2000, they were bust under the dot-com. And see, in such a reasonable short period of time, they've evolved into trillion-dollar companies, or just short of a trillion-dollar company, just to name a few: Apple, Google, and Amazon, and there are many more who are still realizing what their full potential may be. So I think there's a lot to learn. Fortunately for this country, and when I say India is powered by tech, the government of India realized very early at its stage the services sector would be the driver of economy in this country. And technology was the first to come. And I remember in those days, just like today, we're discussing the first prop tech event, just exactly like this we were discussing. And we've been to many conferences and events globally, that India has great potential. Please come to India. We're talking about global multinational corporations that I used to go and make presentations to, and some of my friends and colleagues in the audience. And they used to hear us, but they never used to believe that India could perhaps be a solution to their problems. So they thought it's a cheap country, cheap labor, maybe that's the way to enter. And I often quote a statement which John Chambers of Cisco, the global CEO, said, and I remember using it 15 years ago, and it's still relevant. And he said, we came for cost, we stayed for technology and innovation, and now we're investing for knowledge and experience that they've built in this country. So what they used to outsource at one point of time, a fraction of the total chain, is now actually the product innovation, R&D, and complete original solution that the technology is providing to the global, challenges. technology's relevance to real estate sector, which is what we all are interested in knowing. I think if you were to just quickly go through from the stage of the project cycle, how we conceptualize, how we look at the profiling of the land, the contours, and how we go about designing, how we send satellite images, which enable us to take informed decisions, to actual planning and implementation, not to mention system and technology platforms that now we are using to enable construction and precast technologies and many others which are coming over. And then we have solutions to manage enterprise like SAP, Yardi, BIG, and many other technology tools and platforms. Because of current state of real estate in this country, where the risk is more associated with marketing and sales, I think the real estate sector is now challenged how to create sales and opportunity for the real estate sector. So the emphasis has moved to basically technology solutions to generate revenue and sales, especially for the residential. So now we have artificial intelligence, digital footprints, enabling lead generation, quickly providing our CRMs to enable and convert a potential sale to a sale and generate revenue for the sector. So I think its role has become even more critical. And I think going forward, you will see that this would be the normal. We will not be having discussion about technology and its advancement in the real estate sector. We will talk about technology overlapping real estate, just the way perhaps you can conclude that banking sector, which is going through a transformation and change, is it really technology or is it really financial services? So if you were to take conventional banking and Paytm, you start to reason out. If you start looking at retail sector and you know the e-commerce is growing so rapidly, you may still have hard assets selling merchandise on the street, and you like that experience for whatever reason of physical aspects and the enjoyment, but you know eventually you're going online to make an informed decision. So I think sooner or later this will actually be all over us, and we're surrounded by technology, and real estate is not too different. I believe the $60 billion tech influence on India on various fronts is being replaced by artificial intelligence, which India is at the cusp of growing. I've interacted with many corporates who are now investing deeply in India, not to mention private equity, who's also looking at the opportunities of the real estate sector because they feel that the investment that the corporate world is making in this country and the fact that GDP is likely to grow at 6 or 7% more or less, despite the disruption and political spikes in between, they are very keen to invest, and the private equity is at all-time high. So I think you will see more enabling technology means and platforms that will impact our real estate solutions. So I welcome this conference and the opportunity. Appreciate your attention. I will look forward to all the learnings that I will get from here today, and I'm very keen to participate with all of you. And I'll let the organizers take over from here. Thank you so much.
Firstly, sir, I'd like to thank you for sharing your valuable thoughts, but I'd like to also invite Dr. Anurag Batra to please come on the stage to present a token of gratitude. With a warm round of applause one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again, sir.